Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to DB Woodside about Season 6, the final season of Lucifer, coming to Netflix September 10th. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
It's an exciting time. I mean, roller coaster of emotions for all the Lucifer fans, the amazing, passionate Lucifer fans all over the globe. How are you feeling? Looking back at 6 seasons and everything that's happened with all the characters. I mean, how are you feeling going into Season 6, the final season?
I think the whole thing, ending a show is bittersweet. You never want to overstay your welcome. And you want to go out on top, but whenever you go out, it's sad because you've been playing these characters. This has been a little family for the past 7 years, really. And we've traveled all over the place from, the first 2 seasons in Vancouver to then moving down to Los Angeles to being canceled to being saved to moving to Netflix to then ending it and not ending it and then coming back. And it's been an incredible journey with some amazing people. So although I'm happy that to be promoting, Season 6, our final season, it's also, I won't lie, it's also somewhat sad, but it's time. All good things must end, and it's time for us to move on to the next project. But this was a really good time in my life.
Absolutely. Your character is a fan favorite by a lot of people. Is there anything specific with Amadil that you enjoyed getting the chance to do? I mean, there's growth all across the board of all the characters on the show, but specifically with your character, what were some key moments or things you enjoyed about the arc of the development of your character?
There's nothing I love more than taking a character that feels like they're on top of the world and arrogant and self-righteous, and then just deflating the hell out of him. Just really bringing him down to earth with the rest of us.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. As an actor, sometimes painful to play, but I definitely think he's someone who needed to be brought back down to earth, and I enjoyed being the vehicle to do that. And so it's just been a pleasure to play. But he has grown so much. He's become a really compassionate human being, even though he's not human. He's become much more compassionate, empathetic, sensitive. He's embraced all these qualities that I believe were always inside of him, but that it was something that he fought against. And now, being on Earth for this long, being in constant contact with his brother, has really brought out the best in him.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a lot of reasons why Lucifer has become popular over the years, and there's fans from all over the world that love the show. We're going to get to that in a little bit, but specifically, it's interesting to me that this show, Lucifer, in my opinion, DB, is a genre-bending show. There's so much elements and so much going on in the show that sometimes it's a horror. It feels like a horror movie. Sometimes it's very funny. Sometimes it's like a drama. Did you notice that when you signed on to Lucifer, that this was a show that had so many layers and was a genre-bending show, DB?
I don't think I did. I don't think most of us did. I think when we signed on to it, we were all thinking one thing. But I think as some time went on, and listen, the first season of new shows, everyone's throwing stuff against the wall and just seeing what sticks. And so a large part of that had to do with, we're going to try all this different stuff in season 1, and we'll see what the fans respond to. We'll see what the actors respond to. And so I think that they realized that they, you know, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Just as much as we were blessed with having an incredible staff of writers, they were also blessed with having an incredible cast.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk up these actors, not simply because I am one, but because I know them and I love them all and I'm fans of their work. Every single actor on this show is a phenomenal artist. All these characters could be the lead of their own shows. So I think they were really able to play and just throw anything at this cast, and this cast embraced it and just tried it. And in some ways, it was really interesting because as I continue to meet people, I feel like a lot of the Lucifer fans are Buffy fans grown up. You know?
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like it's we've kind of all come back together. You know, to watch a show that maybe reminds us a little bit of our youth.
Yeah.
And I think that's also part of the reason why the show was successful, because exactly what you said, it just really bended all of those genres, and it was really successful doing so. We were really lucky. This is an incredible group of writers, absolutely incredible, and I can't, you know, not talk about the support that Netflix has given us. They have been absolutely phenomenal partners. So they're just great.
Absolutely. Kind of add a little bit of that with the fans. I really like that Buffy example. That's awesome. But you know, that's great. I find it very interesting because a lot of people, and you could respond to this from a Lucifer perspective, but you could respond for us through a general TV perspective as well. They're saying we're in the golden age of television right now, DB, because there's so many amazing shows out there, streaming platforms. The cinematography of these shows is fantastic. The acting and the writing is incredible. I truly think, though, that there's a main reason why we are in the golden age of television, and it's because of the fact that the access is so global. And, you know, Lucifer is going to drop the final season 6, is going to drop September 10th on Netflix, and instantly 190 countries are going to have access to see it. Does it blow your mind how global content has become? It's pretty incredible, DB.
It's incredible, and I think it's the best thing for all of us. I mean, listen, man, Netflix changed the game, you know, and I just think it's fantastic what they've done. And now we have, you know, Amazon, Hulu, Disney Plus, and on and on and on and on, right?
Yeah. And
so you just have so many people around the world now that are able to. We can all watch the same shows. And I would agree with that. I think we are in another golden age of television, and I think we're going to be in it for a while, which is a blessing for all of us, because we really get a chance to, and it's not just, you know, shows like Lucifer, but we get a chance to, you know, watch these shows from other countries, like for me, that the show is called Dark.
Yeah.
There, you know, shows like Money Heist. Like you're trotting around the globe.
Ragnarok on Netflix from Norway. Have you watched that yet? That Ragnarok?
I have not seen that yet.
Yeah, so many good shows.
So I should check that. Oh, well, fantastic. Yeah. So it's just, I just definitely agree. It's a great time to be working in television. It's just fantastic. All of us. It's a really great time.
But also the kind of the streaming game as well. I mean, you know, we're talking about Lucifer, but, you know, you were Jeff Malone on Suits as well. I mean, that was a show as well that, you know, was on USA, but then, you know, in certain countries got its way on Netflix. Like, that's also interesting too. The resurfacing of shows as well, DB, that's important as well because of these streaming platforms.
Yeah, I mean, and it also gets people to know you differently.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I absolutely love Suits. I loved being on that show. That cast. That was a show that you can just look at, and it is produced so well.
Yeah.
It's just so well, so smart and slick and sexy. It was just a pleasure to be on that show. And I just have to add in that it was great to be on a show with my old Yale classmate Sarah Rafferty.
Yeah.
So we've known each other since we were kids in grad school over in New Haven, Connecticut. So that was great to see her on such a successful show, doing such an incredible work because she's such an incredible actress.
100%. I love that show, and that's one of those clips shows too, right? Like you rewatch certain clips because there's so many good moments in that show. Even with your character, there's so many staple moments in that show.
Oh, that show is fantastic. Like I said, like the writing is razor sharp.
Yeah.
There is a scene between myself and Rick Hoffman where he's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever made it through. I'm so sorry to Rick. I don't think I ever made it through a straight take without laughing. I think they had to cut the back of my head, or he was just so funny in that scene. It was written so well. I could not make it through a single take because Rick was so hilarious.
Oh, for sure. Getting back to Lucifer before we wrap up as well. I mean, might be a bit difficult for you to answer because there's just so many emotions happening and so much going on. Takeaway wise, when they're gonna see everything wrap up, without obviously going into spoilers, what are you hoping they get out of it when they watch the final season of Lucifer on Netflix, DB?
Honestly, what I'm hoping that the fans get out of it is they feel like they've been served a full dinner. That they walk away, yes, sad that it's over, but somehow knowing that every one of the characters that they've come to love over these past 6-7 years is going to be okay.
Yeah.
They're going to be okay. Some of them, are maybe have a storybook ending. Some of them have closure, and maybe that closure is a little bit open-ended.
Yep.
But it's still satisfying. I think when you have fans like Lucifer fans who have saved us time and time again, who have loved us unconditionally, what you want to do is love them back and give them exactly what they deserve. And I hope that we've done that with season 6. I think we have. I know the writers, I know the crew, I know the actors, production. I know we've all worked really hard through a really hard time in the world.
Yes.
So it's my hope that they're just as happy at receiving this as we are as giving it to them.
100%. Does it still blow your mind how quick it is in terms of, it's going to drop on the 10th and across all these different time zones because it's available in 190 countries when it dropped? Like how quick it's so quick. Like people watch it right away. There's already social media. Like it's going to be like a couple of hours in and there's going to be all this like talk. It's pretty quick, right? Like the reception these days.
It is. It is. And I mean, I don't know how you feel about that. I for the past, I think, year and a half have thought that was great, right?
Yeah.
And I'll call myself out. I'm one of those people that I love binge watching. I said I never want to go back to having to wait. And, I just love to be able to watch a show. If I want to watch one, then I watch one. But knowing that there are 9 others that maybe next weekend I'll watch 4, right? It's great. But I do have to say, after watching Mayor of Easttown, the fact that they were able to drop that every week, it kept that show in the public consciousness longer. People were talking about that show for weeks because we all had to wait. And it made me realize that there's still something special about a show being dropped only once a week. It gives us time to absorb it, to talk about it, to kind of anticipate what the next episode is going to be. So, what I realized is I'm a fan of both.
Yeah.
I just think it depends on what type of show it is. And so I am happy that people are going to get a chance to sit down and watch Lucifer all in one, showing. So I think that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. DB, thank you so much for coming on Popternative to chat about the final season of Lucifer. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Oh, thank you. You too, man. And stay safe out there.
Absolutely. So it's going to be dropping on the 10th of September. And where can people follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything? Instagram?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I am absolutely right now blanking on what my handles are, but I think it's pretty easy if you just Google me, DB Woodside.
Yeah, they'll find you. They'll find it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
seriously,
it's pretty straightforward nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. Well, congrats to you and the cast and crew. I know all the work you all put into this show. It's fantastic, and everyone's gonna be able to see the final season on the 10th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, my friend.
No problem. This has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Until next time, this is DB Woodside from Lucifer and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.